Good afternoon. It is 4 p.m. here in South Korea. I am Arirang News, AI anchor, Ari. The U.S. Federal Reserve kept its interest rate steady for a fourth consecutive time, in the 5.25% to 5.5% range. Expectations of a March rate cut have been increasing, after the Fed last month hinted at 3 possible rate cuts in 2024. However, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell on Wednesday expressed doubts about a cut next month, saying it's less likely that the committee will reach a level of confidence about inflation which would allow rates to be cut by the time of the March meeting. South Korea's exports in January hint at strong performance for the year ahead. Data from the Trade Ministry on Thursday showed that exports saw an on-year increase of 18%, reaching $54.69 billion. This was mostly led by a rebound in shipments to China and a hike in chip exports. Auto exports also reached a record high in January as demand for electric vehicles surged. Annual sales of eco-friendly cars exceeded 550,000 units in South Korea for the first time in 2023. That's a jump of nearly 25% on year according to data released by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport on Thursday. Data also showed sales of so-called green cars increased by over 100,000 vehicles per year from 2021. In terms of eco-friendly cars sold in 2023, the majority were hybrid cars and over 70% of those were Korean-made models. President Yoon said, "Now is the quote golden hour to reform the country's medical system," and vowed not to retreat from resistance to his plans. The president was speaking at the hosted the 8th lively policy discussion with citizens on the nation's medical system, with his comments possibly a reference to opposition from doctors to the government's plan to raise the medical student quota. President Yoon said, "Ensuring access to quality health care from anywhere in the country is a key factor in regional balanced growth." Patients, first responders, and doctors shared their experiences of a lack of available emergency room services. The government vowed to spend more than $7.5 billion to address ER shortages in other essential areas. On Thursday, leaders of the 27 member states of the European Union will meet in Brussels for discussion on bringing Hungary on board to unlock around $54 billion of funding for Ukraine. The EU is pushing to move away from the complex, costly, and less predictable financing system that has been used to support Ukraine, for a more stable long-term financing plan through the EU budget. But using an EU budget calls for a unanimous vote from all member states. Due to close ties with Moscow, Hungary wants support to be reviewed annually, which EU officials say will allow Budapest a veto each time. This summit may be the last opportunity to unlock funding for Ukraine, which is expected to run out of cash to run normal state functions in March. That is all for today. Thanks for watching.